Hey guys, in today's video we're going to cover one of the strongest ways to level on a mage. Now this farm will be available from level 42 to 52, however I'm going to explain also why I think it's probably best to be level 44 before this really starts becoming worth your time. So not only are you going to average between 60k to 100k XP per hour, but you're also going to make an average of 30 gold per hour as well. Now, this is a very well-known farm for Zul'Farrak graves or zombies, and there's a lot of level 60s that sell boosts here for players. The great thing about being a mage, though, is you can actually do this farm on your own at level 42, like I said, all the way up to 52. The XP is great, the gold is great, and it's really not too tough once you figure out how to do it. So let's just get right into things. Now, I will first off state that if you are a human or a gnome, you're totally fine, and also if you're an undead, you're fine. However, if you are a troll, you're going to need to get some Savory Deviate Delight, as in these cubbies where you hide from mobs and they evade and reset, you're actually such a tall model that they'll be able to shoot over you, like shoot over the blocks here and still be able to hit you. So that is one of the most important things. If you are a troll, make sure you get your hands on some Savory Deviate Delight. So after that, we just start running into the instance. There's going to be two separate spots that we stop. Here, as you see right now in the video, is our first stopping point. We hide behind these blocks and we reset, and the mobs will evade and run back. At this point, we drink and eat up, and then we run out. Now that little fountain area is actually too tall, or I mean it's small, so you're not able to fit over it if you're on a raptor. I think you can if you're on like a horse or a mechanostrider, but raptor you can't. So you have to go out this way. It's a little bit tricky, but you can clip over it eventually. Now we run to the second spot, making sure that we keep our front of our character facing mobs when they hit us so we don't get dazed. That is very important. If you get dazed, you're going to die right away. Again, getting to this next area behind these two blocks, and we're going to reset the mobs once again. Sometimes the melee mobs will be able to hit you, and you just need to kind of move around a little bit until you are able to get them off of you. Now, I'm sorry, I know in this video you see me clicking on a lot of abilities. This is actually my girlfriend's character, so I don't have any like keybinds or hotkeys set up apart from like the three main abilities that I'm using. So apologize for that, but it's her character, so I'm not going to go messing with a lot of her binds and everything. So now we're mounting up and we're making the longest run of the entire instance. Now, the reason why I believe you really shouldn't bother coming here till 44 is I did come here at 42, and it's an absolute nightmare to have to run all the way through. You pull mobs from so far away, they hit you extremely hard, and you just don't have the health to manage. Now you see that I get dismounted here because I'm dazed, and I'm just going to show you this footage to show that it is possible to still make it through if you're dazed. You just need to be very careful with that mechanic. If you get dazed earlier on, it's probably going to spell your death, which is very annoying because you're going to have to run all the way back. So here what we do is we just use our slows and our novas to try and make it up there without our mount. Obviously when you have your mount, it's a lot faster, but we just get to this safe area, and then we're going to reset the mobs from here. Now there's tons of videos on how to do this on YouTube, but the one thing that I found out when I was looking at how to do this as well was that a lot of these videos don't explain very specific scenarios. So one of the most specific scenarios I can think of is anytime you're behind one of these rocks or one of these boundaries where you can AFK and the mobs will reset. They can, if they're in your line of sight, they won't respawn. They won't run away. They can see you, so they'll just stay there forever. So the one way you can get around this is running out of the hidden area and then novaing them in place and then running back like you see me doing here, and now they're not in line of sight of you and they'll actually reset. Otherwise you'll just be sitting there all day and they're just going to stay there, which is extremely annoying. So that is one thing to note. So now at this point, when we have full mana and full health, we're able to go pull the boss here. All this does, it means that the zombies, when you open the graves, are going to run up to his platform first before they attack you. So this is very, very helpful, and you need to do this every time. So this should be one of the first things you do. Again, you just jump up into this corner area and everything's going to reset. Now, when we run back out, there's always going to be 1 or 2 zombies that remain from when you pulled the boss. That's fine if you kind of keep a wide path around them. They're not going to attack you, and you're able to open some graves. Now, in YouTube videos, you know, everyone always makes it look very easy because they've had some time practicing. And I will tell you, the first few times I did this, especially because I'm brand new to a mage, I died several times. So I will say the most beneficial thing you can do is just open 1 or 2 graves and have 2 or 3 mobs on you. This way, if they get too close and they hit you, or if one of your spells is resisted, you're able to recover the situation without dying right away and having to run back. That is a very helpful hint. And then also, if things go south fast, you can always Nova everyone in place and then run back up to that area and reset. That is one of the biggest tips I can tell you guys, is just, you know, get the kiting method down and get feeling, you know, comfortable with range and everything before you start making big pulls. So now you see me here kiting them around. You want to make the circle, because what will happen is the mobs are going to group up tighter that way. If you just kite them in a straight line, or you aren't, you know, circling constantly, they're going to start spreading out, and they're not going to be in that nice tight ball which you need them to be in to make sure they're all getting hit by your Cone of Cold. Now at this point, you're pretty much just kiting and using Cone of Cold over and over again every time it's off cooldown, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Now, as you see here, I get a resist. It's not a huge deal. They're going to get slowed by your armor, so just make sure that you continue to kite, and again, as soon as that Cone of Cold's off cooldown, then you just use it again. And that's all there is to it, guys. Now, as simple as it is, there are some things that you should note. If you get in a situation where your health is very low and you're scared that you might get hit by a mob and die, a great tip is right after you Cone of Cold, just Frost Nova, and then you're able to bandage up from there. So in this run, I'm just showing you kind of like the worst case scenario of getting tons of resists and having to constantly handle that. Now, a lot of times, if you're, like I said, the right spec and you're the right level, resist shouldn't be a huge issue. One thing I will note is that, again, being level 42, you're going to see more resists, and you're going to have a tougher time getting all the way to the graves without dying. So that's why I personally think coming here at 44 is a better, you know, idea, and you're going to just save yourself a lot of headache. Another thing to note is that there are 2 guards or 2 patrols that come through on both sides, so you need to be mindful of that, and if you can, kill them every time. You can solo them as a mage as long as they're not the Witch Doctor. The Witch Doctor, you're just got bad RNG, and you're going to have to deal with kiting the mobs away from her or him when they come through. The Witch Doctors heal themselves, and there's just really nothing you can do to kill them before you just run completely out of mana. So another thing you can do to maximize your XP per hour is you do 1 pull where you're Cone of Colding on cooldown, and that's your pull method, and you finish wiping up the huge pack with that. Then your next pull, you have evocation up and you have your mana jades and everything like that. So what you'll do is actually just use Arcane Explosion in between every single Cone of Cold, and then anytime you get out of mana, you just Nova them and then you evocate up. This is the best way to quickly kill a large amount of them, and you just really need to wait for your evocation to be off of cooldown. With those tips, guys, you can easily do, you know, between 60 to 120k per hour based on how big of pulls you make. Again, you also are making anywhere between 30 to 40 gold an hour, so it's great money, it's great XP, and it's pretty fun also. Overall, guys, this is a great spot to farm XP and gold for yourself to level, and then also, again, it's great farming once you hit 60 for gold as well. Mages in general are tons of fun. I think there's a good reason why so many people play them in Classic WoW. They're great solo farmers, yet they also are great in PvP and in PvE. So hopefully this video helped you guys out, And as always, I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.